Hi, I'm Emo and welcome to my channel, where normally you'll find me detecting and finding treasure with my trusty metal detector. But today we've come to some Mexican pyramids called the Guachimontones, and we're going to give you a tour of this really cool, interesting, historic place. So stay tuned. So this is a really cool place to visit, and as well as the pyramids up on the hill, they have a small museum, and that's going to be our first stop for the day. This is a map on the floor of all the places. This is where we are in San Marcos at the end, and this is Guachimontones at Teuchitlan. Show you this mural that we got here. Presentation of what it would have been like back in the day. Quite the setup that they had here. This is the archaeologist that was here, the main archaeologist. I forget his name, Phil Weigand. But then there was another guy at Mountjoy, I think it was, that was also helping him. 1999 was when the excavation work started. Some of the tools that they were using. Tape recorder, of course. Just some of the artifacts that they found around here. Arrowheads, spear points, like some of the ones that we find around San Marcos. Not sure what that would have been. And then you've got some bowls, and it's like a seal there. That's really cool. Some of the statues that here they call them monos. Back behind there is where they do all the restoration work. We're going into the area of the dead. This is a representation of what they found in the tumbas de tiro, the shaft tombs. They would bury them with their possessions, different pots and food and animals.
So this is the beginning of the worshipping of the dead in Mexico. In the funerals, they celebrate to put food, and they believe in the afterlife. That's why your owners was located into your tomb. So if you were a high class people, a VIP person, your tomb will be very luxurious, will be very fancy. If you were a common people, will be very simple, your tomb. And they believe that when you die, you will be the spiritual guy, the bad Mexican dog, the Shoba dog. So today, we don't believe in that. I don't believe that I need a dog for get to the heaven, but they should be needed that. You can put on a statue with the shape of the dog if you don't have the dog, like a substitute, or you sacrifice a dog and you put the dog inside. This culture was in communication. Look at the legs, conch shell. So we don't live it in Puerto Vallarta. The conch shell came by the sea. Check the neck, turquoise and jade. The jade came by the South Mayans, and the turquoise, Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. So there was trade with foreigner cultures. This culture was not tiny like Mayans and Aztecs. They were very taller. And over here practicing the skull deformation was like a beauty canon. Like in Africa, the rings over the neck, or in Asia, the title of the feet. So they get obsessed with the head. So they use turbans. So over here they don't use the feather hats like the Mayans or the Aztecs. They use turbans. The chimney is going to finish with the chamber. So the chamber will be the location about the chief, your owners, and the person that already died. So the obsidian for this culture was like the black gold. If you get jewelry, you was high class people. So the obsidian was very upland, was very important for this culture, and for this culture was part of the trade. Was like the coin. And this culture has been called shaft burial tradition by this kind of tombs, or has been called Teuchitlan culture by the town. So when you say Guachimontones, you're talking about the buildings, and Guachimontones means mounds covered with trees.
This photograph shows some of the different examples of shaft tombs that they've found in the area. Standing outside the museum area at the moment, to give you a panorama of the town. Just down there behind those trees, you can probably just see some of the tops of the buildings, and then the lake out there in the distance. And we're just surrounded by greenery, hills, mountains, and they figure that there was buildings of different kinds, homes and ritual sites pretty much all around this area. There's a lot more to see in the museum, but let's head up and see the actual pyramids now. So to get up to the actual Guachimontones, the pyramids, you have to walk. We're almost there. What a walk, what a hill. Here we go, let me spin you around. And look at that. That's the main pyramid there. The iguana pyramid. Here we go. Gonna enter the main area. This is a central pyramid which they call the iguana, but it's not the biggest one. This is like where everything used to happen apparently, but there's another one that they haven't excavated, at least fully, that's over there behind those trees. So right now I'm just walking, making my way around, trying to catch up to the group. I think it's this way. I think I saw him coming this way. Let me see. Here's some of the mounds, smaller mounds. Apparently they used to be, or they were burial mounds. So we don't know if there's people buried underneath. There they are. I found them. Really is quite amazing, the place. Let's see what we can find. Let's head around this way. All these small mounds, these ones here in front are around the central pyramid. There's 10 of them, and they would have had like ritual sites on them for their worship, where the priest would have been. And then a bit further afield is where the people actually lived. They didn't live here in this spot, in this area. People were a bit further back up in the mountains. Of course, in the dry season you can see the pyramids a bit better, and the mounds are a bit more defined, marked, because it's dry, it's not as green. But this is a lot cooler time, more humidity, but it's cooler than the dry season, I suppose, unless you come in winter time like January, February. Let's head over to the ball court. So this area here, which is right at the side, off to one side of the main pyramid, is the ball court. And it's not football, although many people talk about it being like the first civilization that invented football or soccer. But they weren't, because you're only allowed to touch the ball with your hips. You couldn't touch it with any other part of your body. And the idea was to get the ball trapped in your opponent's corner, like there. And that's how you'd score. And the spectators would be down the sides here watching, and this game was for judicial purposes. It was to solve problems between people, disputes between people. It was actually, instead of like a judge and a jury, you would play a ball game and see who won. And if the stakes were high, you could lose your life. You would be killed if you lost, if it was that kind of a dispute. So you can see other platforms here, like back there, over there, and along here too. And I think, if I remember right, what they were saying is that probably like the officials, the priests, different people that had to do with the rituals that they were involved in lived in these areas. This is where they would have their houses. And here on this side we've got another platform, and then directly in front is the larger pyramid that has not been excavated yet. So last time I was here, you were allowed to go on El Gran Guachi, which is the biggest pyramid. Just walking around now to see if that's still allowed, to see if there's still a pathway up there. There it is behind us. And if we can, we'll head up there to the top, show you the view from the top of that, which is quite spectacular. Well, unfortunately, I guess that is a no. They've got the whole thing cordoned off. Before, you could walk up on this side. See those stones there behind that tree? There's a path. It kind of zigzagged up the hill, and you could go right up to the top there and take a photograph out over the whole site. But I guess they've cordoned it off now. Probably too many people going up there. Or maybe they're starting work on that now, and so they don't want people going up there anymore. Oh well, I'll put some photographs on of that I actually took on a previous trip, and you'll be able to see what that was like. So when they did excavate this pyramid, which is the Iguana, they found that there was actually 4 other pyramids underneath it, different levels. So they built an original one, and then they built on top of that, they built on top of that, they built on top of that, and then they ended with this one. And there's a hole in the middle, which is for a pole, which is for that ceremony where they would have the priest basically laid on his stomach on top, and they believe that the people would do kind of a line dance, join hands and dance round in circles. So they would, that whole court area down there, like where those people are, would be full of people in circles holding hands, dancing around a priest that would have been on a pole at the top of that pyramid. So here we're just walking around some of the mounds that are on the edge, on the peripheral of the area. These have been restored but apparently there was enough there for the archaeologists to know what it was like before it was covered over by earth and kind of gone into distant memory of the people that were here. All these mounds would have been covered in dirt, grass, trees, and all kinds of kind of natural debris that had covered them over. The archaeologists believe that this site dates from as much as 1,000 years before Christ. Found the group again. Oh. Let's head up and around here, see what we find. So here's El Gran Guachi from another angle, and it really just goes to show how difficult it would have been to discover these pyramids and how well nature has covered them over. So if I lived here, that's where I'd have my house. Nice little alleyway there and up high, nestled in the trees. Just sit on the front porch and see what's happening down at the pyramids. That's my spot, I'm going to reserve it. Just wandering around, seeing what's here with the group. So I've got to walk back down for the van. A couple of people with me, the rest stayed at top. And I have to drive back up to get them. And then we're going to go for some lunch. So this is a really cool place to visit if you're ever in the area. Maybe come to Guadalajara on vacation, or it's not even that far from like Puerto Vallarta, maybe 4 or 5 hours drive. You can visit the pyramids here at Teuchitlan, Los Guachimontones. Bit of a different video today, no metal detecting, because you're not allowed to do it in the archaeological area. But I thought that would be interesting to see, because I've shown the pyramids on some of my videos and spoken about them. got the opportunity to bring the group that's visiting us here to see them. So hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you on the next one.